In fact, African Beauty International. So it's now the official license holder of Miss Universe South Africa. And they've announced the appointment of Bokang Montjane-Tshabalala as the National Director for Miss South Africa, or Miss Universe in South Africa, where the businesswoman and philanthropist has over a decade of experience in the world of beauty and community development. Furthermore, the organization has obviously also announced that Melissa Nya will be representing South Africa in Thailand this November. It's happening at the Miss Universe pageant. Bokang Montjane-Tshabalala is joining us here in studio to chat a little bit further. Good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
Early morning.
Early morning, but this is nothing new for you. You know the early bird catches the worm. Congrats. This is an exciting feat, actually.
Thank you so much.
What does this all mean in terms of what the license holder, you coming on board, the impact it's going to have for the pageant at large?
I think for me personally, on a personal level, it's a full circle moment. You can only imagine. I've been on the other side. I've been at Miss Universe on stage and now to be the national director. But I think most importantly, it's about time we get the nation excited again about pageantry, because it's such a big platform. Extremely important. You should know that that industry really just empowers young women, you know, on so many different levels.
It does, and it's important conversations that also happen for the holistic development of women. They also serve as a mirror. I also know that things are a little bit different this year because previously, if you won Miss South Africa, you're the first princess, depending on what you chose, then you would enter the Miss Universe pageant. But things are now not. So tell us how this is going to differ this time around.
Sure. I mean, I got the call and I was offered, obviously, the position based on my track record in this industry, as I've done. I'm sure in the past 5 years, I've sent over 10 young women internationally because, like I said, a platform such as this, extremely important, really needed in communities. And it's almost like, you know, you create leaders in different communities and then they continue with the great work in their own communities. Once even the pageant is over, right, they continue making a difference and becoming real leaders in their communities. So I think for us, it's really just elevating the groundwork, you know, starting now, doing the call outs, getting young women excited and involved again in this industry.
And adding to the agency and their voice, because I know that was pivotal in your reign. And it touches, you know, some people when they're not willing to change. And this is why the change is so important. It's probably the most constant thing we have. So then tell us about Melissa. Tell us about, let me just see, Melissa obviously representing, there would have been a rigorous process that you would have had to undergo. And so tell us what went into that and how actually she became,
how she became. So, like I said, the appointment happened last month. So in other words, we had less than a month to get a girl. So there was no time for an actual show, putting on a show, because you have like literally 3 weeks. So we did a casting. A team came together. We put about 10 girls who have experience in the pageant industry. Why experience? Because now this girl has the responsibility of representing South Africa internationally. It has to be somebody who does not have stage fright. It has to be somebody who understands what it means to be confident, who understands what it means to represent the country. And based on that, then we had castings, we did interviews, and we did ramp interviews as well. Literally each and every single thing that is done in order to get to the final moment of a finale. And then that's how she was selected by a panel of judges. And she was strong, very very level-headed, matured, and she came out as the girl on top. And you know, you have to give
the thing is, you have been in the game for so long. I mean, yes, the things did change in terms of the process, but to understand who encompasses what is needed at the time, it's definitely something you'd have understood.
It comes naturally.
Executed the executed the mandate. What I also know is very near and dear to your heart are aspects and causes such as autism awareness and GBV and just the overall empowerment of women. Can you tell us a little bit more about the impact your work has had as well, how it's also going to be spilling over now that you've got this new title as well?
Definitely. I think inclusion. You know, when you talk inclusion, and I know it's a word that nowadays is just thrown around, but when you talk inclusion, when I'm thinking of autism, I'm an autism mom, and fully understanding how your child does not have or is not accommodated in the normal schooling environment, in education, in health. You have parents that are really struggling right now currently with their children that have autism. They cannot get medication for them because it's just too expensive. They cannot get them into schools. They're stuck with children who are like 7, 8, 9, 10, obviously up until 16, because the education system cannot really take them in. Teachers are not trained to really know how to handle them. So in terms of that, but also inclusion, in terms of race, in terms of different tribes, in terms of religion, I think it's so important because, you know, South Africa is literally, it's a cosmopolitan country, unfortunately, or fortunately, actually. And because of that, it's important for us to keep displaying who we are and not be ashamed of it, you know, all the different aspects of being South African and why it's important for inclusion. When we're talking GBV, I mean, it's very important for us to find ways of preaching, anti-GBV messages, but most importantly as well, involving the men. It's a female platform, but I think it's important for us to involve the men because as perpetrators, what is triggering? What makes you do this? And so those are some of the issues we're going to tackle on this platform, but not be ashamed about discussing the tough conversations because that's what South Africans need, especially now. Yeah,
absolutely. I like how you reframe narratives as well, because just to your point with autism and being on the spectrum, it's potential that gets to be unlocked, right? It's not a curse or a trap, and yes, there are lots of narratives that need to be dispelled. Access becomes important, and so when you're going to take it to the rural girl or lady in the village, when you're going to have them come and literally also being given a chance to fail, because that's what privilege also affords you as well. How are you going to go about doing that?
Sure, the plan is that for the next edition, which is actually our very first actual pageant, we're going to go to every single province. And one of the reasons why it's because it's quite important. How do you include South Africans in the process? You include them by making sure they have a representative in each and every single corner of this beautiful country of ours. And to know, for somebody like me, as a young, well, I'm not young anymore, but as a woman from Limpopo, but as a woman from Limpopo, how beautiful is it to know that there's a representative from Limpopo? So we need to really go, because access is very difficult. It's very difficult, and that is why you will end up with about 12 girls who are from Johannesburg or Durban or Cape Town. And so that is what we're trying to do. We want this to be a platform that gives an opportunity to a girl who's in my village in Ramphahlele, to a girl who's somewhere in the corner of Venda. That's why we're going to do it differently.
So in terms of preparations, Melissa, what goes into all of that? I don't know. Where are you? What do we do? How do we support as well?
Please support her. For those who can come to the airport today, she is leaving today. She will be at the airport this morning at 8:30 to 9. Please do come through if you can, just to bid her farewell. But she has been prepping. Shame. I think she's really going to sleep on the flight to Thailand because she hasn't had enough time to really rest. It's been designer fittings, it's been getting ready for the catwalk, but what I said to her and what I will continue to say is just be authentically you. There's a reason why you were chosen for this path. There's a reason why you're embarking on this journey, and it's not even so much about the 3 weeks that she's going to spend in Thailand. It's about what happens when she comes back. How's she going to be a great ambassador for the young women of this country? And so while we're quite excited that she's finally leaving for Miss Universe, I can't wait for her to come back and do the actual work as well.
Okay, wishing her all the best of luck. Wishing you all the best of luck during your tenure as well. Thank you for joining us. Well, there you heard it. Melissa Nya, of course, is going to be representing us. We also heard the newly appointed National Director of Miss Universe South Africa, Bokang Montjane-Tshabalala, ushering in this new era for South African pageantry. Melissa's leaving for Thailand to go and compete and fly the flag this morning. So we're wishing her all the best of luck. Of course, South Africa is always behind you. And we're wishing, just the organization itself all the best as they continue to empower the whole child.